Finally, it is the last step of our course. We want to create two modes for our simulator, professor mode and student mode. So in the professor mode, we can manage everything such as timing, climate, and other functions for students. Okay, in the previous step, we talked about how we can create some actions and share it into the network. In this step, and the last step of our course, we want to create some accesses for professor and limit them for students. So for doing that, we have to go to the scenes folder and go to the main menu. Canvas here. Right. I want to create another list here. I want to copy this part or no list of weather, for example. Duplicate this part and we say list of modes. I put this mode to here, right? And I want to change it to student or professor something. Perfect. As a default, our mode is student. Now let's save these modes. You have to go to the menu manager. Main menu, right. In here, we have to add this list. And right here, modes list. Okay. Right. We can right now save these parameters in here. For example, we will say player prefs dot set integer dot value, and before comma the right name is for example modes. If the modes list value equals 0, so our mode will be student, and if the modes list value equal 1, so our modes equal student professor. Sorry. Now come back to the main menu and drag and drop mode list in here. Okay, list of modes. Perfect. Now play the scene. Okay. Perfect. Now we have to go to the level 3 menu, multiplayer scene, sorry. In here, we want to limit some actions. For example, how we can change the speed of the UGV or in the automatic run movement or in the day-night system. We want to limit them for only professor, and professor can change these variables and student can only get these variables and align with his simulator scene. Okay, in here we have in the weather time, I want to share this weather time between the users in the UGV initially. After that, we will implement the modes student and professor. First, we have to go to the weather time in here, and like before, photon pawn in here, right, and photon view in here, copy, and also I want to copy this part as well. And in here, for example. Right, we can remove this part because we don't want it. In here we can say what was the climate slider value. So we will have only the variable integer dot value. So because the value is float. The float. So in here we would say new climate slider. Perfect. And we will say if we want to say this function from here, and we can do it exactly like this method we have done for start point, but we can do a little bit different. So in the first moment of a start, it's try to load the function from the get int player prefs from the weather from the main menu. But in here we say, okay, my friend, try to try to load from this one. And after that, the change climate will be doing, and we will see the different and climates in the student part. So once again, we call photon view and drag and drop into the it and save the scene. Okay, now let's to export an exe from our scene and paste in here and wait for the export process is done, and we will test it with our Unity editor and our exe. In the Unity editor, I want to change the climate, day, night, and rainy, and I want to see if it is working. In the student part, we can do it for the speed part as well. Right, let's launch our exe and wait for the testing. Okay, it's here. I want to change the name and I will say honey, and well, it doesn't matter anything. So go to the scene. Perfect. I put my UGV here, right? And I want to go to the main menu in here and level 3 Abel fast, okay, and for example, professor. Right, now let's change the date to night. Oh, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. I don't know what is the issue. Let's find out the problem. Right. Oh my god, yeah. Now I understood what is the issue, because we didn't call this function. Yes, and we will say in the professor mode here. No, in the professor mode we can only see this slider. In the student mode we will not see this slider. So we will say call this send value function when the slider has been changed. So go to the UI and canvas and no, sorry, it is for pawn. It is our canvas and climate volume. In here we have climate and change climate, and also another function from weather. Perfect. And we will say send value. Okay, now I want to test it again. And level 3 honey, and is it the student? Perfect. I put the UGV of honey here, right? And start my above as UGV. Perfect. Now change to the night, and it works. Perfect. And to rainy, for example, it is rainy. Into day, and it is day. Perfect. It works well. Right, now the next step is we want to say change the automatic movement speed slider from the professor, and student will get this number. Okay, now I want to change the speed volume. In here, speed volume was from the mechanism of automatic movement, so we will not have this issue for now. It is only for single player, not multiplayer. Forget it for now. And also we can say something like a timer, something like that. Or restart the scene, or come back to the main menu, or do some actions. I don't know, any functions from professor to and send it to the students. Right, in here we had a scene management, okay, and it has pawn share. So let's do something cool in here. We had something, it's called photon VO number and photon username and final result, right? Okay, we will say we don't need to have number. I want to remove the numbers from here, and we will have only the order. New order. Perfect. In here we will have public scene management. Our script, yes, right, scene management. And in the scene management we will have void start, okay, and a public boolean student equal true, for example. So a student will be equal something. No, initially we have to define public string modes. right? And mode is from player proofs dot get int. Oh my god, we will put in integer, right? And in here, the name of it, modes. Perfect. Now we will say if mode is equal 0, so student equal true, and if equal 1, it will be false. Perfect. And in the punch here, we will say once the scene management, if scene management dot student equal true, do these actions, not all the time. For example, if we want to send an order from professor to a student, it only works for student, not for professor user. Perfect. For example, we will say a message for, I don't know, public void restart level, right? And we will call this function from here, and we will say orders. We can put these orders inside of this function, so we can call it better. Send order restart level, exactly the same name, or any names you want. And we will say if new orders is equal restart level. It is something like key code, something like this for us. It's the new orders equal restart level, do some actions. What is the actions? For example, using Unity engine dot scene management. Okay, and in here we will say, I don't know, scene manager dot load scene, scene manager dot loaded scene loaded. What is the issue? Oh, I see. Yes, you are right. I don't know. Number 3. What was the code of this scene? For now it is number 1. So try to scene the scene number 1. Or for example, we can put it as a simple void. For example, another function for exit level, and we'll say exit level, and exit level for here, and try to load number 0, something like this. Perfect. And in the scene manager we will add a public game object, climate volume, and we will say in the student true try to selective equal false, because it is only for professor. Perfect. In the scene management, we have to drag and drop our scene manager to here. And in the climate volume, the scene management, we have to drag and drop our climate volume into it. Perfect. Now I want to test it. Before test, I want to add some UIs in here, and button in here, for example, in the left corner, and I say restart level. Perfect. And in the scene management, drag and drop scene management in here. Oh, sorry, punch here, excuse me. Restart level. btn. Another one for exit level. Perfect. And exit level will be the punch here, exit level in here. And after that, in the scene management, we will say, okay, my friend, restart level btn, and exit level btn will be hide in the student mode. Perfect. Now drag and drop these parameters, exit level btn and restart level btn into these parameters. And now let's come back to the main menu for test our function. After that, export an exe and see what is the result of in the multiplayer. In the student, perfect. We don't have these numbers and also this slider. And in here, once again, level 3, Abulfaz and professor. Right, we have day, night, and exit restart level. Perfect. So it means this part works well and this part works well as well. So if these parts works well, I suppose this part works well, will work well as well. Okay, let's to export an exe and see the result. Oh, it seems it's very long time to export. Oh no, it's working. Okay. Go ahead with the exe as a student. Here, level 3. Let's say honey and she's student. Perfect. We don't have a slider and these buttons, excuse me. Level 3, Abulfaz and professor. Okay, professor is front of the student. Change the day, it works, and exit the level. Perfect, it works well. Level 3, honey and student. Oh, because we had to exit from the photon. So back to menu and exit the game once again. We have to import as a honey 2, for example. Right, and restart level. Oh, it has a problem in the photon voice, but it's already working. Our problem is about the photon voice, because our photon it only keeps the users online. If we want to exit from the scene, we have to log out from the photon as well. Okay, I think our mission is done, and this course can be finished in this part. I wish all the best for all of you, and good luck with your simulators in the Unity engine.